Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bubby Brister and Friends Fantasy Football Podcast presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Bubby is prepping for his colonoscopy tomorrow, so I'm here with Nick. Nick, Jared Goff threw for only 85 yards this week as the Detroit Lions became the third team in history to score 50 points while throwing for less than 100 yards. My question to you is, can you guess the other two?
Score 50 points, those for 85 yards.
Yeah, less than 100 yards. And they both occurred in the 1950s.
Oh, shit. It's 1950. Wow. No, I cannot. I think Bart Starr would be a guy, right? I mean, I don't know.
You're good. I don't know if he played on the 1955 Packers, but this was a game between the Bears and the Packers. And the other game was the 1950 Giants. They scored 55 points against the Colts in Baltimore, the Baltimore Colts.
So that'd be like Johnny Unitas was on that one team, wasn't he? He was on that Colts team.
Yeah, maybe like Y.A. Tittle was on the Giants.
Y.A. Tittle, yeah. Something like that. No, I have no idea. You're digging way in the crates.
Yeah, I got the intern doing some hard work this week. And then the next question is, Lamar Jackson went over 500 rushing yards for the 7th consecutive season. Can you name the only other quarterback to accomplish that? And my hint is he's in our Fantasy Hall of Fame.
It would be Cam Newton.
It is Cam Newton. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
I love that he wore the number 1.
You know, Cam Newton, I think I could blame Cam Newton's career decline on David Tepper. Because when the previous Carolina Panthers owner said, Cam Newton, when I draft you, I need you to be like this. Do not change your hair. I need your hair to be just like this. I need you to act a certain way. I need you to do everything like this. And if you do it, you'll be fine. And Cam Newton did all of that, and he was fine. And they went to the Super Bowl. He was the MVP. He was everything. And then the owner sold the team. Cam grew his hair out. He started dressing all crazy. He's texting like a serial killer. He would tweet like a serial killer with all these weird signs and shit. And it's like, and you're not focused on football no more. And here we are. He works for ESPN now.
I was just about to ask you that. Have you seen him on there? Is he doing a good job? He's got to be better than RG3.
You know what? I think RG3 didn't do a bad job. He got a raw deal. I think RG3 should have college football. He should have college instead of regular and then he would have been fine because you have to pit your stars where they're famous at.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like RG3 was a great college football player. So you have him there, you have credibility. You're in NFL, you're talking to NFL players, you're on a lineup with like, I don't know, you're up there with what, you know what I mean? It's like these guys
Randy
are Hall of Famers. Randy Moss, Hall of Famers. You had one good season. It's not the same. And he's not like Dan Orlowski, which is like, Dan Orlowski's like, I know I was not a great player. I know that. And we laugh about it. I've come to terms with that, but I'm smart and I understand the game and I'm not going to talk too big about things.
So a lot of baseball managers are former catchers. I get catcher vibes from Orlowski, kind of like a guy who was in the trenches and just studied the game.
Grinding tape.
Yes. Yeah. And he wasn't even famous when he played. The only thing he was famous for was running out of the end zone. And even then, like, people didn't really know his name for that. It was just like, oh, he's that guy. Where RG3 was a flaming flame out as a prospect. He had maybe 10 good games, honestly, in his career. He flamed out with the Browns, and after that, I mean, the most famous images of RG3 are him getting carted off the field multiple times.
Right. The most famous, when I think about RG3, I think of two things. One, the Minnesota game where he ran down the left side line, ran down there. He just like broke free. He's like ran all the way down. He outran him. And number two, playoff game, his knee gives out and he just like falls, crumbles to the ground. That is it.
Crumbles.
You know what I mean? I remember seeing a game when he was on the Browns when they were going against the Chiefs. It was atrocious. You couldn't tell it was him. So, I mean, it's just, I think that's where I like college game day guys. You have the Joey Galloway. Joey Galloway was he was above average football player in regular football and NFL. But in college,
right.
he was the man. You know what I mean?
Ohio State.
Tim Tebow, right. Tim Tebow didn't make sense talking about the NFL. But you go college game day, he was gone in as a Gator. So it's like, you make sense. It's what he does.
Tebow definitely didn't make sense playing minor league baseball. That was fun.
Oh, hell, that was ridiculous.
I got a note on Tim Tebow later we'll get into. So now I want to talk about the Chiefs for a second, since they're 7-0. I think they should get like the majority of our A block here.
Okay.
This week, the Chiefs became the 7th reigning Super Bowl champion to start the season, 7-0 when they beat the Raiders this week. The Chiefs are 6-0 all time in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. They have not lost a road game to the Raiders since 2017. That was in Oakland. Kansas City has now won 13 games dating back to last season. Here's where the stat comes in. Mahomes sat out last year's regular season finale, so this past week's win gave him 12 wins in a row, including the playoffs. He has now joined 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks with having at least 3 consecutive 12-game winning streaks. Do you got any guesses on who those 2 are?
So let's see.
They're both
Tom Brady's
broadcasters
one.
currently. Yeah.
Tom Brady's one. Peyton Manning's another one.
Yeah. That's quick.
And
that's it.
Because Colts.
That's the list.
That's it. Because the Colts have come I remember in the early 2000s, like the mid 2000s, the Colts they would come close. They'd be 13 games winning streak, and then they'll lose to one team, and it's that's it. And then the last game of the season, they'll after they lose that one game, the last 2 games of the season, they would just sit out whatever, and then it'll get bounced second round. They would already pound up the bye. And then Tom Brady, he had the undefeated season. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's too easy. But I mean,
and they always ate up the AFC East.
Yeah, their division was so weak that it didn't matter.
Yeah, you have a special place in your heart for Tony Dungy, right? Since he took the Bucs out of the ashes and propped them up.
Yeah,
he did a good job with them.
Yeah, with Dungy, it was weird though, because Dungy, he was in Tampa, he was a defensive guy, so the defense was amazing, but he could never figure out the offense. And then he went to the Colts, and he had Peyton Manning. The offense ran itself, so you had to fix the defense. And the only time they won is when they had Bob Sanders and when he was healthy.
Yeah.
Beyond that,
he was a missile.
Right, and that was it. Bob Sanders had that defensive season that
Freeney too.
Everything he did, Freeney, and he had but everybody else, all the time though, they were doormats. You could run on the Colts all day long. They had undersized defensive tackles. The linebackers are non-existent. I mean, their corners are okay, but again, it didn't matter because Peyton Manning had scored 30 points to win a game. That's it.
Yeah, I never liked Tony Dungy. That's why I brought him up. He's on my Drew Brees list.
I understand. As a broadcaster, I understand.
Oh my God.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I don't watch the Sunday Night Football. It's him and Rodney Harrison. It's just no. That's the old lineup. The new lineup has different people, but that was the old lineup. I don't
watch it either. You know what I watch in between the late afternoon game and the Sunday night game is I watch NFL Primetime on ESPN Plus with Booger McFarland and Chris Berman. It's so great. It's a warm blanket just watching the old nostalgia NFL Primetime. It's the exact same show it was 40 years ago.
I used to love watching back in its heyday on NFL Network after the Sunday night game, Primetime.
Yeah, Steve Mariucci.
Deion Sanders, Steve Mariucci, and Michael Irvin. Rich Eisen. They let it rip. That was great. They would sometimes curse. They would just give really candid, very candid, beliefs that guy's not good. You're oh, that's not going to be on TV tomorrow. They're giving you unscripted whatever, and this is hey, here it is.
Because it was live and it was on NFL Network, so it didn't really matter how long they went. The show didn't feel rushed. It really felt like guys hanging out talking football as opposed to hit your marks, get to the next game. Yeah, that was a good show. Because primetime was gone for a long time. They brought it back just for ESPN Plus.
Okay.
All right. Oh, last stat on the Chiefs. The Chiefs became the first team ever to win 8 straight on the road with none of the victories by more than 10 points. So that's pretty impressive. Like, they just have winning in their DNA now.
So over and under them going undefeated this year.
Oh, under for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
especially with the extra game nowadays.
I don't see them going undefeated either. That's a tall order, even with the addition of D-Hop to their team. It's just not going to happen. And Mahomes is playing his worst football, and I would say that their hardest challenge was against the Ravens, which they so far this year. But I think they have a surefire loss against either they could lose next Monday to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay could probably go in there and score points.
Tampa Bay's due for a win.
They're due for a win, and they score points. So they face the Raiders, who can't score points. You know what I mean? You play teams that can't score points. When you play the teams that could score points, it's a problem. Denver Broncos could probably beat them. They beat them every year, and they're very tough. And their defense is Vance Joseph. I got to give it up to him. He's turned that defense is a top 5 defense. You know what I mean? So if Payne gets some, the head coach, I don't like him, but he gets his credit.
Him, he's good.
Bo Nix is looking like a serviceable quarterback, even though he's not that good.
He's
their defense, he's very Dilfery. And you know what? No, he reminds me of what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger rookie season. Because Big Ben rookie season was hot garbage. You know what I mean? It was like, what are you doing?
It's just don't be an idiot.
Their defense, don't be an idiot, bro. Don't turn the ball over. I'm gonna turn the ball over. What are you doing? Our defense will carry you. Please, just let the defense do their thing.
And they had those Steelers had 2 running backs, Bettis and Willie Parker, and some good receivers. Hines Ward, Randall L was there, Heath Miller. I forget another receiver, but
they have Mike Williams, Santonio Holmes.
Oh, Mike Wallace. He comes up later too.
Damn.
I will say though, to the Chiefs going undefeated, I think the way they're winning is actually more conducive to possibly going undefeated than any other team I've seen recently, other than those 07 Patriots or whatever year that was, 07 or 08. Just because of how they're winning, they're not blowing teams out. Like, they're not playing too high where they're destined to have a fall. Like, they could win every game 20-13. You know what I mean? And get away with it. Their defense is that good.
Right.
Mahomes is gonna get you 20 points by himself, and then anything after that is like a bonus right now.
I don't know, man. I just feel like their team is on offense are too vulnerable. Because they can't put up points. If you're going to try to grind games out, you're going to run against a team that's going to have a stout defense. And right now they have it, and they haven't really faced that yet. But in the division, they haven't faced Chargers yet.
They're getting better every week too.
Yep, the Chargers are getting better every week, and so are the Broncos. Them 2 teams play defense. They have 2 coaches that love defense. You know what I mean?
2 good coaches. Yeah, good point.
Harbaugh loves defense. And he, like we said, he made Herbert from a Corvette to a Pinto, but still they will grind a game out. They grind games out too, and they haven't just been on the right side of the coin yet. You know what I mean? They lost to Arizona the previous week on a grind out game. You know what I mean? So and Arizona, so it happens. So the Chiefs have some tough games ahead. That's just like there's 4 right there, and who knows some other out of division games they might have to face. Because they were number 1, so they have number ones in other divisions.
Right. That sucks. So I hate Andy Reid. I don't like Harbaugh. And I don't like Sean Payton. My favorite coach in that division is Antonio Pierce, and he's arguably doing the worst job of the 4 teams in the... Unarguably, really, doing the worst job of the 4 teams in the AFC East right now. Hopefully the Raiders can get right. I've always had a soft spot for them because I loved Bo Jackson so much as a kid.
I think about it.
Yeah,
so the Chiefs. So wait a minute. Before we jump into these are the Chiefs games they have to play. All right, they have the Bucks Monday. The next following week they have they have their bye already. Okay, so They have the Broncos. They have the Chiefs. No, sorry, Broncos, Bills. They have a layup with the Panthers. The Raiders again. All right. Right after Thanksgiving. So that could be a loss. Who knows? All right. Chargers. They got the Jameis Winston Browns. They got the Texans. Nico Collins should be back. They got the Steelers. And then they got the Broncos again at the end of the season. So they have a hard road out with like one surefire win with the Raiders. That's surefire win. But every team after that, like every team they're facing could steal a win. And if the Browns can beat the Ravens, I mean, that
game messed up my parlay. I would have hit a 6-leg parlay if the Ravens would have hit that point spread.
How much would you got?
Oh, it was like a $2 bet. I would have got like $80 or something.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at betting. I'm really bad at it.
I mean,
yeah, you ready to do these box
you wouldn't
scores?
know that. But yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So first up is fantasy football team versus MVP Rob Spawn. I won this. I'm 5-3. Rob loses for the first time since week 1. I won 139 to 133. Everybody in this game had double digits except for our 2 defenses and his losing head coach. So it wasn't the highest scoring of games, but like there were a lot of punches thrown. It was like a cruiserweight bout.
Man, you're talking about he lost a game because of Baltimore head coach. He would have won that game. But
Yeah.
that's the difference. If he played on head coach, you had 143, he would have had a win. So that's it. That's tail of the tape. That's it.
Well, that's not only it, because I had Jayden Daniels, 29 points. Without that Hail Mary to Noah Brown at the end of 56 yards, that's 2 points right there, and the 6 points for the touchdown. I lose this game 133 to 131. So that Hail Mary won me my game, and it won me my reality game. One of the greatest plays of the 21st century. Jayden Daniels is the truth. It's on. Super Bowl bound. I'm buying tickets. I'm buying Super Bowl tickets.
We'll let the Commander fans have this, but we'll let you have this moment for this week. We'll let you have this moment. The name change, all the going through Snyder. We'll let you have this. This is redemption.
The name change was a positive for me. I'm one of the few fans that actually like the name change because I didn't grow up with the Redskins.
I like the red. I like the what was like the red hounds or something, or like the red boxes.
Red. I think I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I think pigskins is the easiest answer by far.
Pigskins have been great, right? Because that's an ode to y'all in the past, the 80s.
Yeah, and the hogs and like
MVP. He changed his name like twice already. He changed it. Now he changed it again. Already.
I don't even know what this
one
means. Yeah,
it's hard to keep
up. I think it's a LeBron reference.
Wrong sport.
Thank Bigsby coming up big again, 15 points. Tony Pollard got me 22. That trade looked bad for me this week, but I think I would still do it because Pollard shores up my running back so much. Cooper Kupp came back for 16 points, 5 catches, 51 yards. I didn't even know Puka came back this week too. I didn't even know Puka was coming back. Tyreek Hill showed some signs of life, 72 yards, 13 points. Brock Bowers, 10. That's really it. Brian Robinson, 14. Austin Seibert missed a field goal, but he's still pretty damn good as a kicker. He might be the number 1 kicker now. He's still number 2.
Yeah, the Chargers kicker is the number 1 kicker. He scores hell of a lot of points.
Dicker.
On your bench though, Jay Downs for 21 points. His stock's going way up. His stock's going to go way up now with
Flacco,
the benching.
yeah. Thank you.
Richardson, because he wanted to be tapped out of the game. You know, he's a quarterback that said, I need a breather.
I need a nap.
You know what a breather is? A breather is that, hey, next play is a run play, and you turn around, hike the ball, and you hand it to a running back. That is your breather. That's your breather. Not tapping so I can sit on the bench and drink some Gatorade.
He embarrassed himself bad.
And it's you could say like, oh man, that's a rookie mistake and everything else. Did they let him do that in Florida? I mean, I've always I hate to be that guy, but I was right. From the moment when he got drafted, we were doing our cast last year. I was like, I'm not believing the hype train. Never like, you're like, I'm like, I don't know, man. This is a classic one by me here. I'm right. I'm right from the beginning. But your opponent here, Joe Burrow had kind of a dud of a game. Yeah, with 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 234. Joe Mixon has turned into, next to Pollard, Joe Mixon is like the most surprising free agent running backs this year. Free agent running backs this year are doing amazing jobs on their teams. We'll get into more of it later as we go down the box score, but you'll see that trend. Like, only like any year, free agent running backs going to new teams, it's like amazing. It's like all new life for a lot of people.
Not only are they thriving in their new environments, their previous teams are just annihilated at that position also. The Cowboys and the Titans, or the Cowboys and who was the other one you just named?
The Bengals.
Oh, the Bengals.
The Bengals.
I mean, they got some intriguing there with Brown, but he's no Joe Mixon. That's for damn sure.
Right. It's not giving Joe Mixon production. So it's like, what's happening there? Jettis, 19.8 for 115. Walker III, very quiet game. Buffalo defense kept him in check.
Yeah, they fell down so fast, so early.
Deebo Samuel, he's questionable. Deebo Samuel's going to be the one guy. He's going to be questionable all year. It's just he's going to play hurt all year.
He left this game with like 7 minutes left or something. I was watching this game sweating because he had Kittle and Samuel go, and they got 36 points between the two of them. He got within 6 points. Another catch or two, I mean, I'd probably lose. So when Samuel left the field, I mean, I hate to root for an injury, but I was like, yeah, you can have the rest of the day off, Deebo. Like, let me have this.
Right. Intriguing things here on his bench. Jerry Jeudy, man, 12 points, 5 for 79. Hell, I think that's Jerry Jeudy's best game. As a guy who drafted Jerry Jeudy before and had him on my team, he's never produced like that. So there might be some new life there in Cleveland. So that's the thing to watch out for.
Winston might be the best quarterback he ever played with, to be honest.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? In Denver, he had shit quarterbacks, and he had Deshaun Watson prior to this game.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. He just didn't play as well as he should have.
Devin Singletary's officially turned into a pumpkin. Tyrone Tracy Jr. has just totally usurped all those carries from the Giants' backfield.
And it's crazy. I don't understand that because Tracy is a good running back too. And did Devin Singletary lose his job because he got hurt?
Probably. The last 2 weeks, he's 7 carries for 29 yards, 8 points. I think he's just a small guy, so coaches kind of he's very good. I enjoy watching him play. And I think the coaches see that too, and then they rely on him a little too much. He gets hurt, and then, like, at that point, they don't trust him anymore. It's the same old story, because he gets hurt every year.
I won't go too deep in this, but I read a thread on Twitter about a guy breaking down, like, between Devin Singletary and Tracy, and one guy said Devin Singletary has more power, but Tracy his cuts are more, like crisp. Like, he makes people miss on just a simple cut. Devin Singletary makes people miss too, but Tracy makes them miss, like, immediately. So he, like, it looks like it's more burst. Even though he doesn't show up. Devin Singletary has a higher burst rate than him, but Tracy's burst doesn't look like that because he makes people miss so fast. He's, like, wide open running. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Singletary's small, and coaches, no matter what they say, they do not like small guys. Even the ones a producer, they want somebody bigger in there. The only real mistake in this game between the two of us was him playing the Baltimore head coach, and, like, you get a pass for that. Nobody thought they were going to lose to the Browns.
No one thought it would lose to the Browns. Like, are you serious? You know what I mean? So it should have been a surefire layup. That's why he started Baltimore's defense, too, for them just to give up 29 points and only have a full recovery against the Browns. If Deshaun Watson's playing, this is a blowout game. You lose, it's just over, right? So that's what it is.
So we had some big upsets this week. This week, there was a lot of close games. This was a big game for Lionheart. He came in on a 4-game losing streak. He won. He scored 150. Smash Talk scored 141. A close game. Smash Hawk falls to 5-3. Lionheart goes to 3-5. The Lions had a big game, so that means Lionheart had a big game. We mentioned Goff earlier, only had 85 yards. He still got 23 points because of the 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs was running wild. David Montgomery scored 2 touchdowns. He got Malik Neighbors back, 7 catches, 71 yards, 14 points. He finally played Dobbs. This was Dobbs' third pretty good game in a row. Yeah, double digits last 3 weeks since returning from that injury or suspension or whatever it was. Laporta finally showed up. 6 catches, 46. Laporta had half of Goff's yards. 48 of his yards were to Laporta with a touchdown.
That's what's crazy. That's the crazy part.
Are you disappointed in Jalen McMillan? He's the Godwin replacement in Tampa Bay. He only got 35 yards.
No, I'm not surprised. He's a rookie, and yes, those are big shoes to fill. So at Tampa right now, they're still trying to figure out as a Buccaneer fan, my assessment of the situation is, with both their number 1, number 2 going down, there isn't a clear 3 at all. Usually that 3 position was by committee. So, I'll say as a Bucs insider that a name to watch out for is Raheem Jarrett. Raheem Jarrett came in late in the third or fourth quarter of the game, whatever, past Sunday, and he made tough catches. And he started the year off on IR. So you didn't see him at first. So now he's kind of getting his feet wet, and my man can make them catches, whatever. He's been in the Bucs for a couple of years, kind of bounce around the practice squad. So, yes, yeah, but Nate McMillan, he had to figure it out. He had a wide open play where he ran the wrong route, and Baker threw to the route he should have did on the option route. And if he caught it, if he would have hit him in stride, it would have been a touchdown because there was no one there, and it was around second quarter. So, you take the loss with that. But Sam Laporta having half of Goff's yards, I'm conflicted by that because I feel like because the Lions were all over Tennessee, that defense, 24 points, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. I mean, the game was over after the first quarter. I feel like it was just pity yards. Those are pity yards. Here, Sam, let me give you something. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not real. It's not real. Sam Laporta is not part of the offense yet. The offense is the running backs. We know that.
Jameson Williams was suspended on the bench. He's now being investigated for something like a gun, and the cops let him off, and so he might be facing another suspension after this one, or in addition to this one.
I didn't hear about that. Oh, no.
It's just broke tonight. Ezekiel Elliott, 14 points, 34 yards. This is his biggest game since week 1. I can't make fun of him this week. If I were Brindle, I would try and trade him.
From the grave. Ezekiel Elliott still getting them goal line touches.
So I guess Zamir White is his laughing stock this week. He had -1 yard, so at least he made the box score.
Yeah, he made the box score. Zamir White though, yeah, he's the guy that maybe he should cut him because Zamir White hasn't had a double-digit game this year yet, so it's tough.
That's
tough road to hope for him.
So what happened to Smash Hawk here? He had his backfield was great, 49 points combined from Kyron Williams and Alvin Kamara. A.J. Brown, another big game, 5 catches, 84 yards. Even that no-name tight end, Calcaterra, that Punishers used last week, he used him in Goddard's spot. He got 8 points, 3 catches. So that's not too bad. I guess his defense lost him the game, the Jets' defense. How do you give up 25 points to the Patriots?
Yeah, even with the quarterback, the rookie going down and going back to Jacoby Brissett, and they still give up those points. Game-winning drive as well. So it's really tough there. The thing on the highlight here is Tank Dell. With Diggs going down now for, I think it might be career-ending now. For real. It might be career-ending because he's 30, he's like 31, 32. He has a bloated contract.
He's cried himself out of 2 teams now.
And now he had a non-contact knee injury that's going to have him out for the season. So it don't look good. It don't look good.
Encouraging sign from Tua here. Not only did he make it out of the game healthy, but he got 21 points. So he can confidently use Tua going forward, I think.
The Tua thing that surprises me is that Tua had 3 rushes. Why is Tua running? Why is he running? He ran 3 times for 13 yards. What are you doing?
If I'm the Dolphins, I still try and trade for a backup at the deadline. You can't play Tyler Huntley again. He just doesn't fit the offense.
Yeah,
I
you
saw
can't
someone
fit the offense.
complaining about the Dolphins' performance this week, and they were like, Tua's back. They didn't do too good. I think Mike McDaniel's been figured out. And I was like, hold on. Tua's been out for like 5-6 weeks. Like, let them get their timing back before we throw the whole offense away. Man.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm a little concerned about Miami Dolphins defense because their defense isn't stopping anybody. You know what I mean? They're not.
They're old too, I think.
They're not even old. Their defensive line actually is a lot of young guys, and their stud defensive lineman Christian Wilkins left last year, so they don't have any studs on the front line. They have a bunch of like young guys, but even the one that was actually pretty good, he got injured this year. So beyond that, the Dolphins are kind of lacking playmakers. So it's kind of just a team of just Jags on defense right now.
Last thing I have for this game is Tyron Williams for Smash Hawk and scored touchdowns in 10 straight games. So that's pretty good. Next one, nail biter. Jordan 146, Heater 144. Heater's been hot too. He could have got to 500 this week, but he just fell just short. Amari Cooper really deuced him with only 1 point, 1 catch, 3 yards.
Yeah.
But people are dogging Amari Cooper this week. They're failing to recognize that the other 2 Bills young receivers had really nice games, and that's really part of what he's there for, is to help unlock those 2 guys, take some attention away from them so they can start to put up some yards. So, I mean, I think from a reality performance, Amari Cooper was fine, but from a fantasy performance, no dice. Jordan Addison, 2 catches for 22 yards. He would have been better off playing Hunter Henry, who got 9 points. If he had done that, he would have won. And he's been playing Hunter Henry lately, so that's not like a far-fetched
shocker, right?
Assessment,
shocker thing to do. It's definitely because his team is an enigma to me because he has like the Bills like
it's very
kicker.
top-heavy.
You know what I mean? Like I don't understand. Like he has a Bills kicker, but he has Dallas kicker too. I don't understand. Like why would you carry 2 kickers? Why would you do this? You know what I mean? So that's really weird. But it's a very close game. B. Allen from the Jets, whatever, had 13 points. He scored a touchdown. He's still waiting for T.J. Hawkinson to come back. Yeah. He's still waiting for T.J. Hawkinson to come back, which is interesting there.
Yeah, I've been waiting a long time.
I think the tail tape for me that stands out for me is that Travis Kelce had a very strong game, and that took him over the top of his opponent. His opponent took him 10 catches, 90 yards with a touchdown,
12 targets,
25 points. That's a lot of damn targets. You're right there. That was a tight end day.
Yep. Nick Chubb, 16 carries in his second week back after that gruesome knee injury. So Jordan, that's going to pay off, I think, as the season goes on, if Jordan can get back over 500. And like you said, Kelce had a very nice game, which if Kelce has a big game, that means Mahomes is going to have a big game usually. He lost Jordan Mason, though, very early. He only got 3 points out of him. I think you're right. I think that's out of gas.
There you go. So there you go. That's another classic Nick was right again. Because he turned right to a pumpkin right on time for Halloween. Here he is. It was fun. That's why Christian McCaffrey should be back in like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, he got just what he needed out of him if he is done.
Right.
It lined up pretty well, assuming McCaffrey is back.
So he can slide it down there, so that's okay there. His team is hitting the strides at the right time because T. Higgins is kind of meh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's hurt.
On his bench, whatever. Jay Jennings, I don't know about him. He's out as well.
Right. If he can get healthy, though, there's a spot for him with Ayuk out.
Right. There's definitely a spot there. And if T. Higgins get there, he has the absolute foundation for having an awesome team. You're talking about Patrick Mahomes, James Conner, Nick Chubb, Courtland Sutton, who is just very consistent, very Amari Cooper-like. He's just very consistent. He'll give you mind-blowing games but he will be very consistent, give you points. And then you have T. Higgins on his bench, Travis Kelce as tight end, and then he could throw maybe a Kincaid in there, maybe as his like flex. You're talking about a pretty decent team there.
Yeah, assuming he can get Higgins and McCaffrey and Jennings back healthy, and Jennings can thrive in the Ayuk spot, I agree with you. He has the foundation for a really nice stretch run. He needs another receiver, though. Josh Palmer isn't that guy. He's had more than enough chances with the Chargers. It's just never going to happen.
Yeah.
Especially with the way they play now. Palmer's one of those guys that looks like, oh, that's a football player, and then just numbers never stand up on their own.
He's in a bad spot because, again, Harbaugh is just not – he is not the head coach of last year. You know what I mean? The incident airing the ball out like that for a touchdown. Like Herbert gets the yards, but they're not getting in the end zone. That's the problem. So.
Yeah. So that takes us to your game. You finished third highest points this week, 161-108. You're playing really well. 4 wins in a row. Baker Mayfield won't stop. J.K. Dobbins, 22 points. Kareem Hunt, 20 points. I mean, all your players had double digits. Only your kicker came short with 8. You did have a losing head coach there. Your bench even went off. Cedric Tillman, how'd you find this guy?
Cedric Tillman, I found him because Jameis Winston, what tipped me off was that I saw Jameis Winston's stats when he came in and subbed in for the game. And I said, where all those points come from? Where all the yards come from? And who do you throw it to? And he was sitting there, and I was like, all right, I'll pick him up. He had in that game where he jumped in last minute for him, he had 12 targets, 8 catches for 81 yards. So I was like, what? I got to pick this guy up because 12 targets is not an enigma. This is I trust you.
You caught all of us sleeping because you didn't get him on waivers. You got him off free agency. So you caught all of us sleeping. Perfect time, too, because Brian I was going to say perfect time for you to find Tillman because Brian Thomas Jr. is currently injured and may not play this week.
Correct. I saw that last minute. He has a bruised rib. He might be out 2 to 4 weeks. So now my team's hitting the injury bug. But Tillman, he was just sitting there. He was projected only 4 points. So that's why he didn't even show up high up. I was kind of like, who is this guy? And then bam. But big things to look out for on mine that I wonder about. Cade Otton is turning into an absolute monster? Question mark?
I said that last week with Evans and Godwin out. There's plenty of opportunity for him. 29 points.
Because back-to-back weeks now, he's had 10 targets. So it's like he's a safety valve that Baker trusts for a short route. So if he gets at least 8 catches, that's at least 8 points, which I started the season off with Mark Andrews not getting any catches or any targets at all. So I'll take whatever I can get. So.
Yeah, right. That Otton exploding for you makes Mark Andrews even more valuable for you because now you can treat him as a bench flex guy and not rely on him because Mark Andrews has had 3 nice weeks in a row, but it's all because of touchdowns. He's still not getting very many targets or very many yards. So it gives you some breathing room every week because Andrews is an awesome bench guy.
I feel like my team has a little bit of fool's gold taste to it. It doesn't taste like steak. It tastes like it has like a chopped steak. Is this hamburger? Because this might not be steak. This is not filet mignon. Because they might be highest scoring here, but like Rashard White, 29 yards rushing, but he gets all his points catching the ball. So he's a pass pro guy. So Tampa Bay's behind. Okay, Baker Mayfield. I'm in the field that I might not start him this week.
Wow.
Even though he leads league, I might not start him because he thinks the Chiefs. And the Chiefs might just be like, hey, we know how to shut him down. We'll shut him down. Jameis Winston, Mayfield's playing very Jameis Winston-like. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It's like after their hot start of 3-1, now since Tampa Bay's been losing, he's led the league in touchdowns, but he leads the league in interceptions as well. So it's a weird game. He's playing here. Brian Thomas, like I said, he's hurt. Garrett Wilson concerns me because, Devontae Adams is there. So he's going to not have these targets. 5 for 113. Can I expect that every week? I don't know. But Calvin Ridley.
Whoa! Mason Rudolph brought him back to life.
I'm confused because, like, you're talking about a guy who it took him 3 games to even get 15 targets. He had 15 targets last week. He had 100 yards before halftime. You know what I mean? Against Detroit. So that's very interesting there. And their schedule leading out the year isn't bad. They don't have bad matchups, really. You know what I mean? They have New England next week, which could be a problem. But after that, teams are their cornerback game isn't that good. So he might be very viable for Tennessee with leaving.
I got 2 questions for you. You said you may bench Mayfield. That means Darnold is on your bench. Are you going to keep Darnold or cut him? Darnold has the Colts. I think that game could turn into a little bit of a shootout between the Vikings and Colts because Flacco will be playing.
So, I have a waiver claim out there for...
I figured you did. Mr. Winston.
I have a waiver claim out. No, not for Winston. Actually for Matthew Stafford.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he got his guys back.
Yeah, he's guys back, you know what I mean? And he has guys back. He's fantasy. So I have a waiver claim out for him. If I don't get him, then it's whatever. I'll roll with Darnold too. Because Darnold's average is 200 points, 200 yards a game anyway. And touchdowns, he's safe. Right. I think Stafford has a higher ceiling. So we'll see how it goes. Sterling Shepard, 3 catches, 18 yards, 4 points. So I held my waiver claim on
disappointing.
That. So that my idea is that, hey, Sterling Shepard was great with Godwin and Evans in the lineup. If he was a third man with those two, he was great. Now what's happening? So he gets a 2-week tryout on my team. If he doesn't work out, that spot's going somewhere else. I'm going to move off. Yeah, I'll move off.
Well, I was going to say, my next question is, you got the Jets head coach. You going to make that mistake again next week?
No. That he's already cut. He's already gone. He's gone. Just like, nice try. We tried. I thought New England would have been the easy win.
The only thing to take away from him, really, is Kyle Pitts had probably his best game ever. 4 catches, 91 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But other than that, Barkley had 108 yards rushing, but no touchdowns. Aaron Jones, only 58 yards rushing, no touchdowns. Geno Smith, no touchdowns. There's just nothing much here for stealing the wins.
You know, if Atlanta Falcons would play Tampa Bay every week, they would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Unfortunately, they don't. So Kyle Pitts, his points are fool's gold. You know what I mean? His first touchdown was a holding call free play that he pretty much threw the guy down the ground and ran free and caught touchdown. The second one was a missed tackle, and then a play where he should have scored a touchdown. The review shows he did not cross that plane. The ball didn't cross the plane. But apparently, they have NFL guys didn't have a camera. It's rigged. Keep pushing. So doing touchdowns it's very fool's gold there. You know what I mean?
These were his first touchdowns since week 1.
Right. I'm kind of shocked, but like Saquon was kind of held in check a little bit with 100 yards, 108 yards. It was kind of a somber game. But again, a guy, a new team, putting up points though. You got Aaron Jones, Minnesota, a guy, a new team, 16 points, putting up points. Like I said, it's amazing seeing this. Even like Dobbs, who's on a new team, putting up points. You know what I mean? Very productive. So it's
I love it because we need fantasy running backs back like next season. It's good to see that the position isn't as dead as it seemed a year ago.
We thought it was a bad time. We were having real discussions about changing stuff up.
Yeah, we thought we might have to go down to 1 running back, and I'm in a league that does that, and I don't like it. So the next game, we give out our 40 high fives to Freeman. He won his first game since week 1, I think. Either way, it's only his second win of the season. He beat Jones has a new team name. I think he's fucking with me because I made fun of his team name. It's Zug Offspringen. I think he just mashed the keyboard. So it's 190 to 156. Jones loses. Jones falls to 3-5. Freeman can thank me. CeeDee Lamb had his best game of the season by far. 13 catches, 146 yards, 39 points. That was tough to watch from my end. The same thing with Devon Achane, 30 points. He was as good as I thought he was going to be in the preseason. It's going to bite me in the ass. Zach Moss is donezo. He's in Zamir White, Zeke Elliott land. Very good game from Kyler Murray. And that's about it. Double-digit kicker, 15 points. Olave, 100 yards, 18 points. So he returned healthy. I think the story for me on Freeman's team, other than the high points, is Anthony Richardson is officially done. He's benched for Flacco. I have some stats here. Anthony Richardson, 44.4 completion percentage. That's the lowest ever in the last 20 years out of everybody. That's lower than 2009 Jamarcus Russell, 48.8%. And that's lower than 2011 Tim Tebow, 46.5%.
Golly. That's bad.
That's real bad. So he's cutting him. And then my other note on his roster, another guy on his bench who did not play due to injury and that he acquired in a trade from Brandon for James Cook, Dante Johnson was traded to the Ravens. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. I don't think that's not going to move the needle. If anything, I'm worried about Zay Flowers now.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Zay Flowers because now Zay Flowers was the clear-cut guy with Bateman like taking some catches here and there. I'm really concerned about my tight end now. I'm very concerned.
Yeah.
Because now the wide receiver room is really full for a guy who doesn't attempt more than 20 passes a game. Because Ravens run the ball. So what are we doing? Why are we requiring more wide receivers for it? I don't understand.
Well, let me tell you why I hate this trade from the Panthers' point of view. The Ravens gave up nothing for him. They traded a fifth rounder for Johnson and a sixth rounder. This is a fucking stupid. This is why the Panthers are the Panthers. You got nothing for him. You moved up. And also, the Colts are going to have a back of the end 6th round pick. So that's basically a 7th rounder. I got that wrong. Yes. Yeah. No. Okay, I'm an idiot. The back of the end 5th round picks, that's basically a 6th rounder. The Panthers pick is going to be at the top of the 6th round. So they moved up like maybe 5 spots.
Right.
And if you're the Panthers, I think you benefit more from having your young receivers learn from Deontay Johnson, and your young quarterback needs someone to rely on. Bryce Young is just gasping for air in his career still. Let him have someone he can trust out there, not just like Jonathan Mingo or whoever. This is a dumb trade. Unless he's like a locker room problem, this is just a trade I don't understand. You could have re-signed him also.
Yeah, I think Dante Johnson was a locker room problem. I think
I've heard that in the past. That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah, because I think that's the only thing I could think of. That's why he got out of Pittsburgh. But at the same sense, so you're just taking less weapons. So what does Carolina got? Is Carolina better than Alabama now? Like, I don't understand. Like, can they beat Miami Hurricanes? I mean, I'm very concerned. Like, this is a team that's going to aim for the top of the draft. Are they tanking for a core now? Or is this what they're doing? Yeah, I might as well, right? Just blow it all up.
Yeah, it's bad.
But they're like, so they don't want to trade. They said they don't want to trade Chuba and their one of the defensive players. Like, they're two guys. Like, these are two guys who are unprotected, like protected. We want them, but everybody else can leave.
If you're the Steelers, you got to be pissed off that the Panthers traded Johnson to the Ravens, and they should have probably put a protection pick on there. If you trade Johnson to a team in the division, you owe us another pick or something. Deontay Johnson becomes only the second receiver since 2000 to catch a pass as a Steeler and a Raven. He joins Mike Wallace and Miles Boykin as guys who played for the Ravens and the Steelers as receivers.
That's hell of a stat. But more on Freeman's team, his scoring outbursts here. First of all, congratulations. But 2, Achane just went off. You know what I mean? This is why I feel bad for you, because I know this is why you kept Achane, because you knew he could do this. 10 carries, 97 yards, 6 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Like, he has the scoring outbursts like that with Tua to do that. So Because I remember I looked at it, I was like, what kind of stat line is this? Like, because I remember I texted you earlier today, right? And I was like, oh, man, I might be up to win high points again, right? My team's scoring points. And I saw New Day coming up, and that's fine. But then all of a sudden, CeeDee Lamb, 13 catches, garbage time, them empty calories, 17 targets. What the hell? Did he turn to Brandon Marshall? Did he become Brandon Marshall now? Like, what's happening? Like, so these empty calories.
That's why this trade doesn't kill me this week. Pollard and Tyreek Hill didn't do terrible. CeeDee Lamb, like you said, it was all garbage time. And then Achane, like, I still don't trust him to stay healthy or Tua to stay healthy. I really like watching Achane, but he's very small. So, I mean, it's kind of like we'll see how long it lasts thing with him. But he's fun to watch. There's no doubt about it.
This is probably Colin Murray's best game of the season. This is his best game. It is his best game of the season. I have Colin Murray in another league. This is his best game. So it's what it is. Chris Olave, 18 points. This was up. I think he needs to figure out Jay Wright on Miami. He might have to shit or get off the pot with that guy.
And, he can drop him.
It is like Jay Brooks sitting there and he's like his IR spot.
Yeah, he's been
like,
waiting
why?
for him all season. He drafted him 107th, and he's gotten 0.
Like, what is he hoping on this guy? Like, I don't understand.
And he's a Panther too.
Right. So I'm like, I don't understand. But I don't even know this name. I'll say Zug. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, 41 points. That's the high points player. No player scored 41 points but him. Over 40. So no, it's my bad. Kirk Cousins didn't he? Kirk did. But Stevenson, 30 points. That's strong. Najee Harris continues to grind it out at Pittsburgh. Jamar Chase, 954. Pittman Jr.,
touchdown.
Man. I don't know.
My God.
I don't know that.
That's brutal.
I don't know about that. It's so brutal.
Hey, he might get a boost with Flacco back, and he's been playing injured, so. But that's tough stuff. Every week from Pittman is just a dud. And Njoku, he might get a boost from Winston too. 5 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown, 17 points. But there was nothing Jones could have done.
He had Lab McConkey on his bench though, 29 points.
Yeah,
that madman lad, man. It's huge.
And Bo Nix, 41 points on the bench.
Ridiculous. Bo Nix's best game of his career. But Lab McConkey, he started Lab McConkey like almost every week. Every week he started him, and Lab was giving him single-digit points. So the time he gave him 6 targets, 6 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The week he doesn't start him, that hurts. That really hurts.
On the bright side, though, there's nothing he could have done to win with his opponent putting up 190. That's all I got in this one. You got anything else?
Yeah, that's it there.
2 games left. Mile High Salute, 4-4 with a loss. New Day Co-op, 4-4 with a win. New Day Co-op, 184, just missed high points by 6 points. Brandon had a very good performance here. Just Jordan Love left the game with an injury after only 7 points. That's hard to overcome. Noah Fant gave him nothing. Jayden Reed gave him nothing, especially after Love went down. He did get 26 points out of Jonathan Taylor. That was his first game back after missing 3 weeks, so that's good to see if you're him. James Cook, 34 points. So that trade has paid off for him, too, because Metcalf and Johnson both missed last week with injuries, but he had the receiver depth at the time to make that trade. That is gone now because, like you said, Stephon Diggs is just done. Done. He just lost the 8th ranked receiver for the season.
Right. It's looking real bleak now for him when it comes to wide receivers. I mean, he can move Jay Reed up to wide receiver, the other one, but him and George Pickens trying to rely on them for the season is hard to do.
That's not enough. He has no one on his bench.
He needs to figure out a trade, and he needs to trade out one of his good pieces somewhere, either one of his running backs, to try to get a wide receiver in there, because that's the only thing I think of right now.
Kirk Cousins, like you said, 4 touchdowns, 40 points. So he did fall 1 point short of Jalen Hurts.
New Day Co-op, really interesting. Trevor Lawrence on the bench, 31 points, 300 yards, 3 total touchdowns.
I think he likes him.
That's his best game of the year. So, I mean, And like you said, with the Buffalo wide receivers, Coleman 5 catches, 70 yards and a touchdown. So he's been blooming over recently because he started off the season very slow, and then after week 5, he's been actually producing really. In the last 2 weeks, he's had over 15 points.
Yeah, and Shakur, 9 catches, 107 yards in his starting lineup. He had Coleman on the bench and Shakur in the lineup. So that's going to be a tough balancing act every week for him, unless he just plays them both. Trey McBride, 21 points, 9 catches, 124 yards. That is his highest scoring game of the season, his first 100-yard game. He still didn't have a touchdown, though, this year.
Yeah, he has not found the end zone yet. Josh Jacobs, though, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Another running back.
Another running back in a new environment, thriving. You know what I mean? So it's
double-digit points every week except for week 3 when he had 9. So Josh Jacobs is the 6th best running back in our league. Bryce Hall had a decent game, 15 points. He had 16 carries, only 1 catch though. So he's suffering with the addition of Adams. They're not throwing the ball to the running back, which is one of the best things that they did. So Aaron Rodgers just continues to mess that team up.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers had a pretty decent game this past week, though. 233, 2 touchdowns. He has not thrown for 300 yards in 30 games.
That's terrible. Even Trevor Lawrence did that this week.
He's Aaron Bleepin Rodgers, man. Aaron Bleepin Rodgers.
He was Aaron Bleepin Rodgers.
MVPs. 4 of them. You know what I mean? He's like, he just washed.
Now he's Aaron Rodgers, ERIN.
ERIN.
Would that get me canceled? We are on to our final game of the week. The Punishers fall to 6-2. Renegades of Funk 4-4. So, I mean, he's right in the thick of things. Lamar Jackson, another big game, 2 touchdowns, 32. He just makes it look so easy. Henry, 18 points, 73 yards, touchdown. They really couldn't feed him the ball because they were playing from behind against the Browns. Chuba Hubbard, another 14. Keenan Allen, that Commanders-Bears game was tough. Both teams were playing very good defense that game. Caleb Williams really couldn't string much together. Keenan Allen had been playing pretty well coming into this game. Terry McLaurin, 5 catches, 125 yards, 17 points. Pat Freiermuth, let's see how he's done since that trade. Not good. His last 4 weeks, 9-3, 7-3. So maybe Brandon didn't really give up too much there. He's down to the 15th ranked tight end now.
I would argue that Keenan Allen has not been playing good. You know what I mean? He had the previous game before that, he had a pretty decent outing with 5 targets, 5 catches, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns. But beyond that, he's never scored over double digits, and he missed 2 games.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
He had a pathway of winning this week if he started Jacoby Myers over Keenan Allen. He could have won this game.
Madison, 12 points on 15 yards. That's oddly impressive. When you can 14 carries, 15 yards, 12 points. He got all those on receiving.
Yeah, 5 for 5, 29 yards. Renegades of Funk, though, coming through with the win. Rob Purdy, 2 total touchdowns, 26. He had a running in touchdown. This is when is he running in zone? Only on Dallas. I'm really Amar St. Brown, 2 catches, 7 yards, and a touchdown. That's tough. That's a tough one. You have to just eat it because he's like, they were ahead so far. It's what it is. And like you said, the Chicago game, 2 catches, 27 yards for DJ Moore. That's a tough one as well. Devontae Adams, 454. Ugh.
Yeah, so on paper, St. Brown, Moore, and Adams is an awesome fantasy trio, and they gave him shit this week. Just 21 points between the 3 of them. He's lucky he won looking at that.
So when is he going to start Tracy over Warren? Like, when is he going to do that?
Yeah, it's a must start now, assuming he's healthy. I see the Q there, 145 yards touchdown. Yeah, but now that you know Singletary's the for sure backup, or at least like distant number 2, Tracy's must start. Especially he has Jaylen Warren as his RB2, and he has fallen further behind than people thought going into the season, behind Najee Harris.
Right. So it's kind of like, what's happening? Like, we need to Daryl Mooney, though, I wouldn't buy stock into that because he's not playing Tampa anymore this year. So Daryl Mooney is not gonna. Yeah, he's only 13th ranked because he played against Tampa. You know what I mean? His 2 highest scoring out points are against Tampa. You know what I mean? Like, if you add both the Tampa games together, he has over 200 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean? And well over and 13 catches. You know what I mean? That's everything else is, you know what I mean? So
yeah. This came down to the fantasy special teams. 19 for Punishers, 39 for Renegades of Funk.
I call some shenanigans on this because in the Pittsburgh game, Pittsburgh on that punt return should have been called for penalty for roughing the punter when he rolled into him. They should have been called for that and never got called. And that touchdown would have been called back.
We will send that to the league office, see what they say. That's it for me for the box scores. You got anything else? You got a player of the week?
Player of the week on a winning team here. I want to give the shout out to let's give it to let's give the A-Chain. You know, A-Chain put in work there for dead money. You know, gives him 40 high fives. You know what I mean? Especially dead money's having a bad year fantasy wise, and Freeman is a former Super Bowl winner. It's a tough year. Where it is kind of just going to lose, try to get the first pick next year and start over. So, you know, but A-Chain definitely came through for him this week.
Do you think Freeman can make a little run, or do you think he's dead in the water at 2-6?
I think based off how our league looks like with our teams, like, it's hard to tell if you can make a run because you'd have to win out. You'd have to go on a tear.
He basically can absorb one more loss.
You know what I mean? And that's really tough to do because so Steelers wins right in the same boat as him, but everybody else is fighting for playoff spots. So we're all going to try to put our best teams together there. And if you look at his year that he had, a couple of these losses are just close losses. Steelers wins, he lost by 10 points. New Day, he got blown out, but then against Renegades of Funk, he lost by 5. You know, Fantasy Football, when he lost against you, he lost by what? A little under 15, a little under 10. He got blown up by a smash hot. Lost by 7 against Palmer, J.D. Moss there. You got blown up by Heater. Heater blew him off the map. So it's really up and down. So it's tough to go.
Yeah, my player of the week, I'm going to give it to my very own Jayden Daniels. First and foremost, he wasn't even supposed to play this week. He had a tough matchup with the very good Bears defense. If I had gone with my original plan of Marcus Mariota against the Bears defense, I would have lost flat out. He's not getting 29 points. He's not throwing a 56-yard Hail Mary bomb to win the game. I do know. Jayden Daniels is special. Mariota is not. That's the difference. There's no ceiling to where he can take the Commanders. They're Super Bowl contenders now. I honestly believe that. That's it, really. I'm giving it to Jayden Daniels. Got to give it to my guy.
You know,
I think the biggest games of the week are Mile High Salute versus Renegades of Funk. They're both 4-4. Your game, Buck What You Think versus New Day Co-op. If New Day wins, you guys are both 5-4. Your 4-game winning streak is on the line. And then my game versus Punishers is pretty big because if I win, we'll both be 6-3. But if he wins, I fall to 5-4, and he'll be 7-2. And 7-2 is very good, especially if
7-2. 7-2. You got yourself a playoff spot in the bye. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, you're pretty much locked up. So that takes us to our Hall of Famer. It was my week. I did not prep for this. I found out right when we logged on that it was my week. I thought it was next week. I am giving mine to Brian Collins Westbrook. He is a running back who played for the Eagles. He was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2002 NFL Draft from nearby Villanova. He had an 8-year career with the Eagles, earned him 2 Pro Bowl selections in 2004 and 2007. He finished his career with the 49ers. I do not remember that. His last year was with the 49ers in 2010.
Yeah.
But he was a first-team All-Pro in 2007, two-time Pro Bowler, Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Fame, Philadelphia Eagles 75th anniversary team, a Walter Payton Award winner in 2001, a two-time Offensive Player of the Year, 2000-2001. But he had 1,385 carries, 6,335 yards, 41 touchdowns. Here's where he really made a difference for fantasy teams. 442 receptions, 3,941 receiving yards, 30 touchdowns receiving, 71 total touchdowns. He also served as a director of player engagement with the XFL until its merger with the USFL this year. So he's got a career post NFL. Westbrook, there was a good 3-year run where you were taking him in the top 5 every year.
Yeah, with him and McNabb at one moment, that was the Eagles' offense. That was it. They had their offense was that. You had before T.O. showed up. Yeah, Pinkston, Freddie Mitchell, and this that. And you're like, who are these guys? But then Brian Westbrook, he would give you 80 yards rushing and then another 70 yards receiving. He wasn't the biggest guy, and the most memorable play for him, for me, is they go against Dallas. Huh? Go ahead.
Can I guess? When he laid down before the end zone to run the clock out?
There it is. It caused so much fantasy drama because he had a clear, people could have won games, they lost games because of that one thing. And it's unbelievable to do it. And it's such selfishness as well because he wants to win the game and not give Dallas another opportunity to score. So he just lay down perfectly, just unbelievable that he would do that. So, yeah. When I think of Eagle players, when I think of the Eagles, I think of him, and I think of Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
Those guys are Eagles to me. You know what I mean? McNabb, I respect it. He had one of the prettiest deep balls, man. I respect it.
But, yeah. Any other final thoughts before we go?
No, that's it, really. It's going to be now we're in a make or break, like you said, of this season for fantasy football with how the standings are sitting and whatnot, because you, me and you, are both at 5-3, and Smash Hawk. So we're at a 3-way tie for essentially trying to figure out where we're going to go. And you scored just about 52 more points than I did overall. But then you're 30 or 43 points under Smash Hawk as well. So just vying for that top spot of what it would look like for us. It's very interesting because if the playoffs started right now, you'd have the 4th place and I would be in 5th place. So we'd be facing each other if the playoffs started right now.
Yeah, Spawn would have the bye week. Brandon is now the most in points allowed at 1172. I am at 1155 and New Day is at 1146. Oh, and Jones is at 1158. So there's a jumble there at the top of the points allowed list. But yeah, that's it for me. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you, guys.